Welcome to the next episode of the Teacher Zone with Chris and Tyler. I'm Tyler Maroff, co-owner of TeacherZone.com with our partner and co-host here, Chris Bates. How are you today, sir?
I'm awesome. Today, we have a really cool topic, Tyler. You and I, we're we're pumped up about this one.
Chris was in the jacuzzi earlier, and it was hot. He was like 104.8, like just hot. And he's like, I have a great topic for what we've all been going through in the past couple years. And it's reignite your lesson in class business. That's the topic. And Chris, just elaborate on that and where that all came from.
So Tyler and I have been talking about doing sort of this concept of like a recovery episode because what we've all sort of been through, a rough couple years. And so it was like, okay, but I don't like the word recovery. And then I looked it up, and Tyler, the definition was basically like to get back to status quo or something like that.
Right.
Like that was the gist.
Recover your health. Like recovery is a great word. A lot of people are in recovery, cancer, addiction, or whatever. Yep. Great word. Restoration, restoring themselves to health or whatever. So it's an awesome word. But we know that a lot of you already have a great experience in a great business. It just got hit, where, and we just need to reignite and burn even brighter, right, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing for me is that I look at it like this moment in time is kind of like, how in New Year's, as the year turns, it's like all of us, we reignite for the year, we get all pumped up. I kind of feel like this moment is a great reignite for all of us in our business. So all the things you've been putting off, what a great time to do it, because why not, right? I mean, the one thing that Tyler and I want to remind you of is that you're already amazing. Right. And remembering that you're good enough, you're amazing enough. If you're listening to this and you made it through the last several years, all of us are so much stronger than we thought. And so bravo for that. I mean, our hats off to you.
Yep.
And so we're going to talk about the 5 things that'll just help remind us to reignite that fire. So reignite, like it connotes fire. So let's all get that fire in our belly and let's get really excited to get things going. So the 5 things are, and we'll go through them one by one.
Sure.
Reorganize, realign. What's number 3, Tyler?
Reconsider, respond, reconnect.
That's the 5. Reorganize, realign, reconsider, respond, and reconnect. So, you guys ready to reignite your business? Let's do it. So, Tyler, let's talk about the first one. Reorganize, and what we thought about, what a lot of us need to do is reorganize our operations, our rules and procedures. So basically, what are the rules that you operate on day to day with your staff? What are the procedures that, the staff and everybody goes through? What are the rules for like your student, parent, family contracts? What is all that? So let's talk about that for a minute. So,
well, first of all, Chris, during the last couple of years, the whole planet was retrained overnight to not leave their homes and learn online or somehow supplement, right? So during that supplementation, it caused from the worst case scenario, businesses we know personally that we help through TeacherZone.com, they lost their businesses. That's the worst end of the spectrum. All the way till the best part of the spectrum was people capitalized on it because they had tech in place. But either way, it caused less people to be in the buildings for a while. And some people took that time to take a look at their systems. It felt like you had a chance to erase the whiteboard and draw a new diagram if you wanted. And by the way, Business 101, your agreements with your teachers, inflation, the economy, time going by every 5 years, we all need to relook at those things anyways. That's a good practice. And sometimes we're so busy, we don't. So in this case, to reorganize your rules, procedures, employee agreements, even some fun stuff. We had a staff meeting once, Chris, where we're like, what's something we've never done before that we could start doing when everything's normal again or whatever. And the idea is we're flowing because there was nothing to do for a while. We were being really, really good at pivoting and offering things, but we were all stuck. And then we lit a flame and new ideas are happening. There's open mic nights once a month now that one of our newest instructors just took under her own wing and make sure it happens. She made a Google form. It's marketed. Like, Chris, I can go on and I won't beat this one with the dead horse, but those people on staff, when they had a chance to reorganize what we could do, they were all in.
Right. And so with this, the for some of you, if you don't have policies and procedures in place, well, the first step is just to put some in place. For Tyler and I's very first agreements, we actually went online and Googled it from a legal site. We bought like a $50 document for HR documents. We also share them with all of you that are current teachers and customers. Just hit us up and we'll actually share those with you because we share what we currently have. Always a work in progress. We also, as Tyler's talking about, we changed some of our rules. So for instance, and I know a lot of you did that as well, we used to not allow any type of makeup or change in the lesson. Now we allow not a makeup, but it to go virtual if they're not feeling well, like right away. So it's like, oh, they're not feeling well. Do they want to just switch to virtual for today's lesson? And so that's a difference in our rules that we need to update our procedures. So reigniting all these 5 elements basically means what are the ways that we can come out of this with extra fire? Because it takes trauma to change. Let's face it, humans, we love patterns. We love feeling safe. And after what we've all been through, forget that. Let's go to the moon. Let's reignite ourselves in our business. So number 1, reorganize. Get your new rules and procedures in place. If you have some rules that you've been wanting to put your foot down on, and we know you do, because a lot of you are too nice, put your foot down and go ahead and reorganize those rules and procedures. So, all right, what's number 2, Tyler?
Well, number 2 is realign. And I know I went on a rabbit trail recently, right before that first item, but it was basically just telling you that now's the chance. Now you can do all of these if you want to just do one at a time. And the next one's realign your team and delegate. So I kind of touched on that a little bit. Your team, believe it or not, because we're only as strong as our people in our businesses, they're hungry to help. They want to help, but do we let go and let them try? Do we let them even think up an idea?
No. A lot of you are such bullies, and I'm going to call you out because you are bullying your staff. You're bullying yourself. I was on with a customer, new customer the other day, and this is a really awesome school, but this owner has basically been so mean to themselves that they're trying to do everything, right? And I asked very simply, I said, let me ask you a question. Are there any teachers of yours that want extra hours? And they're like, well, yeah, sure. And they named someone right away. And I said, would that person be good with administrative work? And they're like, absolutely. I'm like, then why aren't you hiring them 2 hours a day? And they're like, oh, that's brilliant. And I'm like, why are you putting it all on your own shoulders? This is a team effort. Remember, your job isn't to do all the work. Your job is to create the vision that allows the team to come together so we all can get the work done together. So delegation is huge.
Yep.
And so if you haven't done it well,
by the way, Chris, I'll just go ahead and pull our covers a little bit. We're realigning at Los Rios Rock School by adding Sharia Bissonette to be vice principal along with our principal, Phil Allen. And her job is basically counselor. So she'll have this window of time every week for 90 minutes that she uses the same window to teach master classes for performance or whatever. But we decided, why should we stop that? Mm-hmm. Is there some value that could be there? While Phil is overseeing the health of the school, she can be working with individual students. And so we are realigning the staff and teachers too. So we're realigning the staff as a family with each other. We even gave the corporate card to take everybody out for appetizers and drinks, which we never really thought of doing before. Mm-hmm. And without us, no founders. We don't need to be there at everything. Like, let them be themselves. They're amazing.
Exactly. And one of the reason that the vice president type, or vice principal rather, role came out of it is because I walked in on a class and I was like, Tyler, oh my gosh, Sharia is like amazing in how she structures her teachings, right? And I said, I'll bet a lot of our younger instructors would really flourish. And then Tyler took that thing to the moon. Oh my gosh, what if we got a vice president? What if we did? And I was like, that's a great idea. So
Dude, when you told me that, I called Sharia. I said, hey, can I call you? I've got an idea. And we love that. It doesn't happen that often where she and I do that. And then and then she's the same way. She's like you and I. And then then I texted Chris, hey, by the way, Sharia's this, and this is done, and this is that.
Meet our new vice principal. So anyways, you guys really think about it from the standpoint that you have the freedom in your business, whether you're an owner or director. If you're listening to this and you're in a leadership role, please delegate. It's so important. And so I'm going to say one thing about delegate, because we have talked about it before. You are not, never, ever, ever tell people what to do. Always just tell them what outcome you're looking for, and then delegate them to just come up with whatever they need to do to create that outcome. That's true leadership.
Yep.
So, all right, number 3.
And if you don't have people that can answer those questions, then you can reconsider some things. Anyways, number 3. Reconsider. I did not do that on purpose. Reconsider. And we actually put down pricing, simplifying your pricing or simplifying your program. Maybe the last 12 years has been, you have 13 ways you price things, and you thought it was a great deal at the time because you just kept stacking things on, and all of a sudden you have this menu like on a food truck, and maybe you only need 4. Right, Chris?
Yeah, or maybe you only need 1 or 2. Here's the thing I want you all to consider with regard to your pricing and your the way that you present your offering. Is it simple? When you tell someone, can they go away and tell someone else right away? Right? And then number 2, are you charging enough? Tyler and I have met with a lot of great business leaders over the years. And the one thing that the biggest folks in the world have always said every time we meet with them is always up your pricing. So small guys, SMBs like all of us, we're too cheap, right? And we're too complicated. So they always say up your pricing and simplify. And that's what the big boys do. And guys, why do you think it works? If it works for these giant corporations, why wouldn't it simplification and getting more value so you actually have more profit to create a better program? Why would that not be better? So if you've been considering it, we want you to reconsider what is the simplest program you can offer and the most you could possibly charge to be able to make it a wonderful, profitable thing. So that way you can actually have extra money.
We're trying to reignite. We're trying to ignite. We're trying to catch on fire, not drain the well or have it be on empty all the time. That's not healthy for anything.
So simplify your rules and get them to where they're in alignment with current tech and today. Realign your team, delegate stuff, get your teachers some extra hours, have them help out. Who on your of all your staff are their superpower might be helping out in certain ways. Reconsider is number 3. Reconsider your pricing, reconsider what you offer. Can you dumb it down? We've reconsidered what we offer, and we've actually now come up with basically a reorganization, if you will, to keep going with a reorganization of how we do our group classes and stuff. So now we have a more consistent Monday schedule, more consistent recording classes and all stuff like that. So we're working on that too with our team. So number 4, Tyler, what's
number 4 is respond. How are we going to respond? Not necessarily react, by the way. If you notice, react isn't in our list. Right. We like to proact. Anyway, respond. We were kind of thinking market changes regarding technology is one of the big ones since everything is happening so fast. And then the last couple of years, it really, really quickened overnight. Go ahead, Chris.
Everyone was trained. I mean, that's the thing with technology. I'll tell you guys, 6-7 years ago, when we first started reaching out to lesson business around the world, and we talked about some of the neat tech tools that we were working on, a lot of you, the comment was like consistently, we talked to like tens of thousands of folks, and consistently it was, yeah, I know I need to utilize technology better, but I'm just not that tech savvy, or my teachers aren't that tech savvy, or like there's all these excuses.
Our families aren't going to like that.
Yeah.
How do you know? And now, but the funny part is, whatever, to each their own. We kept trucking, right, Chris?
Yep.
Found amazing people, unbelievable companies are inside Teacher Zone now. But now here's the caveat. The last 2 years, even they, the pragmatic naysayers of this couldn't work,
right.
they can't say that anymore. It's over.
Everybody's trained.
Everything's a membership economy. There's no reason to take cash or checks. There's nothing. It's done.
Right. There isn't one of your customers. Yeah, there isn't one of your customers that doesn't have a subscription to something. There isn't one of your customers that didn't experience and some sort of, even, let's face it, even grandparents and great grandparents. There isn't anybody that didn't have to try to do the video call. Right? Everybody's tried it at this point. Chris, it's no longer an outlier.
We found the game Clue as an app. There's an app of the game Clue, and we were playing it because everybody for a couple of weeks, even me, and then I woke up pretty quick, but everyone was fucking scared. Excuse my French. So sorry. You can edit that out, Chris. Everyone was, that first month or two, everyone was actually scared. Just scared.
Yeah. Well, Tyler, I'm not gonna edit that out. Just all of you children listening. No, I'm teasing. I don't think we have any children
really listening. So that Clue game. So we had neighbors across the street. My sister. We all found, and we were playing Clue on an app, real time. It was awesome.
So like trying to solve murders and stuff.
Yes, it was literally the game of Clue with Mr. Green or Professor Plum and the whole thing. It was really fun.
That's so cool. Well, and one of the things that we've done in my house that a lot of you have probably too is this stupid Wordle and Hurdle. Wordle is the word one, and then Hurdle's for songs. And we have a family text every morning, and so we're all texting what we got and whether we got it. So just FYI,
yeah, we're not doing the Wordle thing because when it all like changed, we just started going back outside, Chris.
Yeah. No, but it's a fun thing I probably wouldn't have done before the pandemic, right?
Hey, everybody. Chris walks his dogs. I have 5 dogs. He has 2. Chris is so much nicer to his animals than I am. He walks them miles every day.
Well, your dogs get to run. Tyler lives in the Midwest and has a wonderful property that his dogs can enjoy. So they're free.
Yeah, when they come home, it's nice to see them, whenever that is.
Yeah, every now and then. So bottom line, guys, is no more excuses. I actually have someone that I just adore, one of our customers, and he was kind of giving grief about not being tech savvy recently, and I'm like, give me a break. This person is like a genius. I'm like, you're a freaking genius. Stop saying that. Stop saying disempowering things like I'm not tech savvy. Newsflash, guys, nobody is tech savvy. The whole idea of tech is that it allows us to push a button like a cave person and have things happen.
Monkey. Like monkey.
or a monkey.
Rat, or like a rat. Yeah. A rat or whatever. Guys, don't do that. It's a belief system that doesn't fit. And what it really translates to, you know how, Chris, sometimes we act out, we have a feeling, but we act out in a different feeling, like, hey, I'm scared, but I'm going to be a jerk to you or whatever. What's really going on if you're feeling some reluctance on tech? You're too busy, and that little tiny learning curve you have to change up is freaking you out. And that is the worst excuse I've ever heard in my life, because I've also done it. And then when I did the thing, I laughed at myself and looked at my wife and said, I can't believe I was worried about that.
100%. And what I found is, like they say, you give if you want, my friend's dad, who is just a very astute business coach. He used to go to like IBM and get paid to like coach these big companies. He said to me years ago, if you want something done, give it to the busiest person. And I'd heard lots of people say that, but he was the first person I heard it from. And it was like, at first I was like, what does he even mean? Right. And then I start to realize, oh my gosh, it's true. All of our customers that are crushing, doing multi-million dollars in lesson businesses are the ones that never say that. They're the ones that have the time. They're the ones that delegate. They're the ones that create better systems. If you're saying things like I don't have time and I'm not tech savvy, chances are you're just not organized.
Right. You're in chaos. And just like if you've seen our, if you go to teacherzone.com, there's a free ebook on there.
Yeah,
that chaos to culture is it's an outline of exactly how to get out of that and enjoy the thing you wanted to give away to people. That was one of your favorite things in the world. You can enjoy it again.
That's right. And the last thing I'll say about technology is that if you are in the teaching business, if you do classes or you do lessons, any sort of lesson-based business, technology is our friend. So let's figure out all the neat ways that we can utilize it and stop making it a bad thing. Tyler and I are one of the biggest proponents of hybrid approach because we believe human connection is everything.
That's
so
why we
all
call
about
our
that.
Company Teacher Zone. We know that that teacher is that human being spirit that is connected to whoever is wanting to learn, and it's connected across the globe. And that's our mission. We know that if we help that, then Chris and I could look at each other 20 years from now and go, we made a difference. We helped
in humans. Right. Yeah, technology is there to help us, guys. It serves us. And so that's the big, I think, turnaround on that respond to market changes regarding technology is that think about a doctor that doesn't keep up on the latest and greatest. If you're not keeping up or partnering with someone like Teacher Zone, where our staff and all of us, and
then you have leeches all over your arms. That's what you have, leeches on your arm.
Yeah. So the bottom line is all of us need to realize that the world has changed. Everyone's trained. Let's get moving. So number 5, and last but not least, this is one that I just wanted to remind all of us, including ourselves, that there's probably a lot of folks that are ready to come out of hiding. So number 5, Tyler, is
reconnect. So, and that means who would we reconnect with? Past customers or past prospects that said, oh man, it sounds good. We might be ready soon. But anybody that reached out to you ever, connected with you ever, there's multiple ways you can do that, Chris. Okay, sure enough. Let's say you're a kids program for whatever, jiu-jitsu or music. Those kids have gone on to college. We shouldn't bother them, right? We shouldn't bother that family that we made this huge impact on their college kids at one point in their life. No, tell them we're looking for referrals and we have spots available. And if you want someone that enjoyed our school as much as your kids to come experience that, let them have this email. Like there's a million ways to reconnect. That's just one that popped out of my head.
We used to do one years ago in a business I had where we call them hugs. And we would call every single customer and we would just say, hey, we just wanted to call and give you a verbal hug. And people go, really? And we'd say, yeah. And they're like, that's awesome. And that was it. And we got so many referrals just by making that connection.
I think I'm going to have Alexa call and give hugs to everybody this week.
Well, and that was the other thing I was going to say. For a lot of you, when you're having to make the calls yourself and you're like, I don't have time for this. Tyler, do you and I spend all day calling everybody?
I don't call anybody.
What do we do?
I call you to complain and stuff sometimes, but you're my partner. That's what I'm supposed to
do. What do we do? Do we delegate that?
Yes, 100%.
And do we delegate that to a super high paid person?
No, not at all. Well, it depends.
Becoming.
Where Alexa lives, and she's an 18-year-old. She loves $20 an hour, 10 hours a week. It's perfect for her, and she gets a $100 bonus every other 2-week pay period if she's kicking butt. So that's huge. It doesn't take that much, and she is wanting to make sure every week that she lets me know that she's covered her bases. Like I can't You can't even, I didn't even know how to train people or give that expectation to people 10 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had to learn how to lead like that. And then all of a sudden, whatever I've done that's different, which is kind of what you said, Chris, ask them, hey, I'm looking for this outcome. How do you think we can get there after I teach you how the tools work?
Right.
Well, guess what?
Yeah, and what other tools do you need to get there?
Chris, she came up with an idea I would have never thought of because I'm, wait for it, too busy.
Yeah.
With other stuff that I have to do as a founder.
Right.
So she came up with an unbelievable idea on her own that got us more tours for the school just because I wanted to express the outcome we need. And I told her, get creative. I trust you.
Right. You guys got to relinquish that. And here's the thing is that if you don't have time, which most of us clearly are doing too many things, then it's not going to get done. And so just remember, there's a saying that Dan, our coach, says, and I love this saying. He says, having someone else do your work 70% good as you is 100% freaking awesome.
That is wonderful. Well, you can say that after 5 times giving Dan Martell the credit, you can actually take the credit. That's the rule.
You do say that?
Because really, to be honest, Zig Ziglar said all the things, I think, already.
Probably.
So,
yeah. Well, and by the way, our coach has a coach, you guys. So just know that everybody, all of us need to constantly learn from one another. So we're grateful to you all. Hopefully this reignites you guys in like maybe just even a couple of the areas, And
Yep.
so, but bottom line is take one of these 5 things: reorganize your rules and procedures, realign your team or delegate, reconsider your pricing and simplify, respond to market changes because technology is here to stay, or reconnect with your past or even current customers. Just reconnect. It's all about connection. And Tyler, you said
reconnect with your staff. Reconnect with your staff. That's a big one we're doing right now. Reconnect with your staff. Their goals, visions, dreams, lifestyles, they are unbelievable people.
Yes.
And we don't look at them that way all the time because they're just moving parts in the business. You trust them, but you forget to look at them. And just
and I just got an idea that you and I are going to implement after this on the reconnect part. So guys, Tyler and I just had a meeting with our ops team on Monday. Every Monday morning we do our ops team for our school, and Spencer, who handles our community
in a row. Monday is heavy.
Meeting day. Spencer, that handles all our communications, right? We talked about doing a lot of things like really making our teachers stand out and all this. But one of the things was alumni. And we said, how can we also showcase alumni? And Spencer said something very simple. He goes, teachers and alumni are the same thing. We're all just family. And I go, oh, I love that. So he's going to create a whole family thing, he said, for us, where he's just like a family showcase on social and all that. Here's the other thing, by the way.
Mary LeBlanc just played the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, did she really?
Yes.
Our very first student ever, you guys.
And she's got a full ride to Thornton, USC as wind ensemble. So she's a percussionist in wind ensemble, classically trained. However, she's also a drum kit drummer, rock and roll drummer. And someone got let go or something last minute. And she played in an orchestra on drum kit, Led Zeppelin. At
what
the
an
Hollywood
experience. Bowl. She's so awesome.
Yeah, so that's just one of those things.
Well, so the point of it is, guys, is the alumni. I'm thinking that just when Spencer reaches out to the alumni to say, what have you been up to? That's going to spur all sorts of neat stuff, right? Not only hearing about what they're up to, but also he could come back and be like, by the way, do you have any friends or siblings or anyone in your old neighborhood that you think would be right for a program? Oh my gosh, my neighbor's only 11. She'd love it. Whatever.
Right. Well, by the way, Rocco Beal is the music arranger and music director for this Alexandra gal from Nashville who Tim McGraw just took on tour.
Wow.
Because of a TikTok he saw where she was singing his song while pouring coffee, which was, I think, a TikTok trend. And then he called her, and now Rocco and his band, who was one of our students, and Alexandra are opening for Tim McGraw.
So how many of your students do you really not know what's going on? And that could be a huge connection to not only just promote your family and your brand and your impact, but also maybe get more referrals. So
Yep.
hopefully it's helpful, you guys.
Reconnect.
Yeah, now I'm reignited.
Well, Chris, thanks a lot. Love the inspirational topic today. I'm on fire. Everybody else, please light yourselves on fire. Not literally.
In a good way.
Chris does in his jacuzzi.
Emotionally.
But anyways, this we want to give a shout out to all of our teams at Teacher Zone and Los Rios Rock School, since we talk about you guys all the time, and all of our amazing customers, and let you know that this podcast is brought to you by teacherzone.com. There's free ebooks and literature on there. Anything you want to know, or if you think a friend should know that might help them, send them the website. Everything's there. So, Chris, good to see you again, sir. And we'll see all of you listeners on the flip side. Take care.